Hi, I'm Tharindi Wijesinghe. My student number is 2110376. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss about how the solar energy can be impact to us as a source of renewable energy. On my first slide, I'll be discussing about overall solar energy. Then I have done my pestle analysis on the solar as a renewable energy. By using pistol analysis figures, I have done my Porter 5 analysis. I'll be discussing the key trends and developments of solar energy on the next slide. Then lastly, to summarize what I have explained, I have done two scenario diagrams, and throughout them I'll be explaining what are the possible scenarios that could occur if we consider solar energy as a source of renewable energy. If we investigate the overall of the solar energy, the use of solar energy starts back in the 7th century, where we used the power to use the solar power to generate the lighting. Later on, moving with the times, it was used as a source of lighting, as with the sunroof. Sunroof concept is still plays a major role in architecturing, and it's still considered as a source of day lighting at houses, offices, and commercial areas as well. Solar energy is the second highest renewable energy in the world. This is only less for wind energy. And according to the researchers, 1.5 hours of solar energy, if captured properly, then we can light up the whole world for 1 year. And it's easy, and also it's considered as the easiest way to generate power. With the increase of the demand of the power, main solar providers demands goes high. Now with the impact of the COVID, China is facing a issue with their solar power. So if we can implement the solar system in their country, then they can cater for their demand. And even though China is facing an issue with the power, the main solar panel providers are China and America. The most solar renewable power used by also by those two countries. The main barrier for expanding this power to use the as a renewable energy is the cost of production. It's a very high-end cost of production. According to the researchers, the long-term plan is to reduce the emission by 2060, and they're expecting it to reduce it by the 0%. Now, the biggest trend of the in the market with relates to manufacturing is that they are looking at spending their money on establishing the solar panels as the rooftop area on their rooftop areas and many other locations where it's possible. This is because then if they can establish the solar panel on their premises, it could cover the overhead costs such as electricity, and it's the worst case. And also with the developments, now they are expecting it to save it on the batteries, where you can keep it as a store, and in case of a rainy day they will have able to use that power to generate the electricity and run the company without an issue. Moving on to the next slide, pestle analysis. Pestle analysis comes under 6 concepts: political, economical, social, technology, legal, and environmental. In this slide, I have highlighted the most powerful trend in each category. By offering this tax and other investment opportunities, people are more tend to invest their time and effort on their plans. This would bring a positive trend towards the investment plan in the country. And also, if the government can create a sort of rebate system where the consumers can establish the panels on their rooftops, and if they have excess power gathered on those panels, where the government can purchase it, and it could be either comes in a rebate system or a discounted system. In this way, it would be a both win-win parties for both. And when the people are investing their money on this, the economy of the country is gradually will improve, and this will create the dollar functioning around the countries and within the countries, and this dollar moving around will create a positive impact on the workforce of the country. And if I move on to the technology, this would be challenging to for the people who are living in the developing countries and the people who have not very familiar with the technology. Also, for the developing countries, it would be creating an extra cost. Environmentally, many people are more in talking about sustainability, and now the renewable energy is a good source of reusable energy. So the changes of the lifestyle and the knowledge that they are getting from the sustainability has a positive impact on the solar power. Due to the COVID impact, the demand of the electricity has gone up in China. Now, as a result of this, the power cut has been occurred, and since China is the main supplier for many products, now the manufacturers are on a trouble where they can't cater for their customers. So if they can use the renewable solar power as renewable energy, this risk could be easily eliminated. Moving on to Porter's fifth analysis, it comes under 5 analysis: bargaining power of the supplier, buyer, threats of subsidiary, threats of new entities, and competitive rivalry. When we consider the bargaining power of the buyer and the threats of inventories, the key points are quite similar. They are high in cost, new customer base, high in investments, and the high in marketing strategy, and also the learning curves. These are very limited to the customer basis, because the cost of this solar power, it's quite high, and it's always a new customer base. Even though they have some customers, every time the technology comes in or the competition is high, since the competition is high, they have to invest on the products and they have to attract the customers. So always their marketing strategy is changing, so it's like repetitively changing, and therefore the cost of marketing, their technology, and everything is quite high. So if I move on to the bargaining power of the supplier concept analysis, the power of negotiation is quite low, and since there's using major portion of technology to this solar power, there will be rapid changes to the innovation. They will look into where they can adapt and generate more power, and maybe ways to keep it in store and use it, and the rationale of customer with the development of technology and has the access to the knowledge as a vast, and limitation of the power due to the discounts, because since the customer base is low, the suppliers really can't offer any discounts, because in that case they would be also running at a loss. So the the company can't survive if they are running at a loss. So therefore they won't be able to get the customers by offering the discounts. The other part of it is the threats of subsidiary. This could be considered as the high in cost compared to the other renewable energies, and also the softwares. Many renewable energies companies uses the softwares to gather the power, where it comes to the solar, it's just basically going through the solar panel and establishing it on their rooftops, which would be an extra cost. So therefore the companies can't really adapt it to the new technology. These are the 5 main categories that I have maintained. And also the competitive rivalry. When people are getting more knowledge on the sustainability and what is the renewable energy, they has the more intention to use it. So when people are the more that they talk about sustainability, there will be an increase of the market. And the main competitor for solar, it's only the wind. The wind is a main largest renewable power or renewable energy that's being used, but other than that it's just solar. So by those two tools, analyzing those two tools, I have identified the key trends and developments in the renewable energy. Mainly these are getting the key trends are economic benefits, technology, easy accessibility, climate change, water purifying using solar, focusing on more sustainability, changes in lifestyle, and blockchain. So if I summarize these key points, due to the COVID, everybody's lifestyle changes. And while at home, we are using many devices and the demand goes high. So if we consider the water electricity power, the limited access has got this one. But also the climate change is playing a major impact on the solar energy. So since the global warming is rising every day, every minute, people are more looking into the technologies, the ways that they can generate the renewable energy. By doing this, companies are more into doing the business, and which will generate the economics benefit to the tool as a modern way of thinking. Now the researchers are doing a water to use this is being looking into the mainly the manufacturing field, who are in the manufacturers. Their water usage is very high, therefore to secure the purified water, they are trying to purify the reusable water by using the solar energy. This one, and the using blockchain is the main challenging and main trends that they have developed. And if I move on to the next slide, I have done this analysis in a two scenarios. So on this slide it will be explaining the scenario 1. I have considered only the cost and efficiency in these scenarios, and where the high cost and low efficiency, low high cost, high efficiency, low cost, low efficiency, low cost, low high efficiency. So orange scenario, golden scenario, black scenario, and the green scenario. Golden scenario is the ideal way to get the customer. It has the high efficiency, and the customer tend to buy the products, but the disadvantage is the the high cost. So the ideal scenario under this one would be the green scenario, because cost is low and high on the efficiency. And the orange scenario, it's quite, the cost is high but the efficiency is low, so therefore the customers won't tend to invest on this one. So I would not recommend for anyone in the black scenario, because this is the worst out of the 4 scenarios. And in this one, the cost is low, yes, it would be beneficial, but there is no efficiency, so no one wants to invest on particularly on that one. So if I move on to the second scenario, where I have considered 2 scenarios with that relates to technology and sustainability. The high technology has sustainability, I have considered the ultra super scenario. Low technology, high sustainability, I have known as it super scenario. High technology, low sustainability, it's a high eco scenario. And the low scenario is on low technology and low sustainability. In this case, the ultra super scenario is the ideal scenario of it, because it has digitalized the programs by using the softwares, where it could have been a low digitalized programs can reduce the cost. And since it's high on sustainability, the environment groups are very keen on it. So the super scenario can be challenging to the other renewable energy, and it would be easy access to many people, but not very attractive to sustainability. The high on eco technology is high in technology but low in sustainability. So such as disposing on the solar panels would not be the ideal way of doing it, so many people would not be attracted. So the worst case scenario is the lowest scenario, where they use the low technology and the low sustainability, and people would be changing to the other source of renewable energy because it's not being updated. And this is the last slide that I have been explaining, and thank you for listening to my presentation. And these are my references. Hope you understand my concept. Have a good day.